Okay, so when we're talking about adverbs, this is what an adverb does. Okay, and this gives you some little tips here. It ends in ly a lot of times, not always. Oftentimes it's not an ly, and sometimes words that end in ly are not adverbs. So you really have to be able to identify the other parts of the sentence. It does answer these questions. So it'll answer the question when, where, how, or to what extent. And the purpose of adverbs is the same thing as adjectives. It's to make your writing more exact or more detailed. Here are the things that don't end in ly that are often adverbs. Excuse me. But I do want to point out that sometimes these words are not adverbs, but a lot of times they are. So for example, the word later, if I'm looking at the word later and I say, I am going swimming later. Okay, swimming is what part of speech? It's a verb, right? It's an action. So later is telling me when I'm going swimming. It's describing swimming. It's answering this question when. So therefore it's an adverb, even though it doesn't end in ly. Okay, so if you know, okay, so swimming is a verb. Later is telling me when I'm going swimming. So it's describing the verb. That makes it an adverb. Okay, so you kind of have to work yourself through those questions. But if you look at the word yesterday, for example, yesterday can be a noun, right? Because it's like a time, so it could be a noun. But if I say I went shopping yesterday, right? Shopping is a verb. Yesterday is telling me when I went shopping. So it's describing that verb. So that makes it an adverb. Okay. Excuse me. So let's look at some of these examples. When adverbs modify is just another word for describe. When adverbs describe verbs, they're going to answer these questions: how, where, and when. So John ate quickly. Ate is a verb. Quickly is telling me how he ate. That makes quickly an adverb. Ashley will eat soon. Soon is answering when will she eat. Eat is a verb, so that makes soon an adverb. Okay. But sometimes they describe adjectives. And actually we use adverbs a lot to describe adjectives, maybe more than we do with verbs. Because we say like the words very and to all the time. Like I'm very cold or I'm very hungry, right? The word very is used a lot. Or to, like this is too real or this is too stupid or you're too sleepy, right? Those words are adverbs describing adjectives. So if you look here, Rex is happy. Happy is describing who? Rex. Rex is a noun that makes happy an adjective. Very is telling me how happy Rex is. And then, so adverbs describe adjectives. That makes very an adjective. Okay. The program was too unrealistic. If you look at this sentence right now, you should be able to tell me every part of speech in this sentence. I'm going to zoom in. I want you to think about this in your head. Maybe. Why won't it zoom? There we go. Okay. So the program was too unrealistic. What is my noun in this sentence? What is my subject? The thing, the program. Fantastic. So program is a noun. The is an article. Okay, a, and the, remember they're articles. Those words are always adjectives. Okay, so the is an adjective. Program is a noun. Where's my verb? Was. We learned yesterday this is a linking verb. Am is, are, was, were, be, been. That little song I was singing. This is a verb. Okay. Unrealistic is doing what in this sentence? Describing the program, which makes unrealistic a adjective. To is describing unrealistic, which makes to. You guys are so smart. I have nothing left to teach you except prepositional phrases. Those are hard. Okay. Adverbs can also describe other adverbs. So this is the exact same thing as adjective. Okay, what if you look at this? Warren walks too quickly. Warren is my subject, it's a noun. Walks is the verb, that's what he's doing. Quickly is describing how he walks, so that makes quickly an adverb. To is describing how quickly he walks, right? And so adverbs can also describe adverbs. So if you were identifying the parts of speech, you would say noun, verb, adverb, adverb. Okay. He moved rather quickly. Same thing. He is what part of speech? Pronoun, you're amazing. It's a pronoun. It's replacing a noun. He. Moved is the verb. Recently is describing when he moved, right? Or how he moved. He moved rather recently. Rather is describing recently. So we have pronoun, verb, adverb, adverb. Okay, let's do some practice together. Oh, just kidding. I need to tell you this. This is a good point here. Okay, so we talk about how ly is often an adverb, but this is a good example of when it's not an adverb. If you look at this sentence right here, Helen has a yearly membership at the local health club. Helen is our subject, has is our verb, so we have a noun and a verb. A is an article, that's an adjective. She has a membership. What part of speech is membership? It's a noun, it's a thing, right? So Helen has a membership. So what is yearly describing in this sentence? The membership. So that makes this what? An adjective. Very good. So even though it's ly, it's an adjective. So just be careful about that. Sometimes it can be a little tricky. Because like right here, Helen contributes yearly. Helen is our noun. What is she doing? She's contributing. That's our verb. Yearly is describing when or how often she contributes. So that makes this an adverb. So you have to be able to say like, what is this? What is this? What is this? Okay, that makes this an adjective or an adverb. Okay, that's what we're going to practice. We're going to do some of this together. We did not finish adverbs today in second period, but they had a lot of questions about the schedule. So we'll see how far we get. Where are my papers? Okay, so this is the first paper you have in your little packet. So it says adverbs versus adjectives. So we're going to decide, are these adverbs or are these adjectives? Okay, and this just gives you a nice little chart there that says adverbs describe these three things. That's what I wrote on the board. Adjectives describe these two things. So you have to ask yourself, what is the word describing? So in this example, carefully is describing drives. Drives is a verb. That makes carefully an adverb. In this sentence, Mike was tired. Tired is describing Mike. Mike's the noun, so tired is an adjective. Okay, so let's look at these examples. And all you have to do is look at the sentence below, decide whether it's an adverb or an adjective, circle the choice, then underline the word it modifies or describes. Okay. So number one, the house looked empty or emptily. Empty, right? And this makes this an adjective describing the house, right? So you should circle empty on your paper, underline house. If I said the house looked emptily, what you have then said is that you have a house with eyeballs who are looking at you emptily, like with empty eyes. So that is making the house alive. So be careful. Okay, Jason pitched wild or wildly? Wildly, and that is an adverb. What is it describing? How he pitched. So circle wildly, underline pitched. Okay, number three, the choir sang good or the choir sang well? Well. Well is an adverb. Okay, and what is it describing? How they sang. Good is most of the time an adjective. Okay, so like you are a good student. This is a good puppy. The lunch food is good, right? So that is an adjective. Well is going to be your adverb. Number four, those hills look beautiful or beautifully? Beautiful, adjective describing hills. If we said those hills look beautifully, again, the hills have eyes and they're looking at you beautifully, right? You have just made them into human hills. Okay, the teams were matched even or evenly? Evenly describing, not just matched. We have a verb phrase. What is it? Were matched is technically your verb there. Number six, the cheese on this cracker tastes strange or strangely? Strange. What have you done if you say strangely? You're making that cheese be able to taste things. So the cheese has a tongue and it uses its tongue in a strange manner, right? So make sure that you use the right word. So you have an adjective here that's describing the cheese. Okay. Right now by yourself or with the people sitting next to you, do the last six really quickly. And then tell me if you have any questions because some people did have good questions last time. What is the word? And then which word is it describing? If you have questions, we'll talk about them in just a minute. Okay, anybody have questions 7 through 12? Any of them not make sense to you? Feel pretty good about it? Okay, let's skip down to the next section. We'll do this partly together too. So it says determine whether each underlined word is an adjective or an adverb. So you have to know what it's describing in order to know if it's an adjective or an adverb. You can just write like ADG or J or whatever, or AV. Okay, so the woolly mammoth is believed to be the ancestor of the modern elephant. Woolly is describing what? Mammoth. Mammoth is a noun. So woolly is an adjective. Good. So write adjective there. She jumped up suddenly. Suddenly is describing how she jumped. Jumped is an action. So that makes suddenly what? An adverb, right? Number 3, tripped up second period. So let's see if we can get this. The recipe calls for coarsely ground nuts. What is coarsely describing? You guys are amazing. Don't tell second period. Don't listen second period. You're smarter than them. Coarsely is describing ground. How are they ground? They are ground coarsely. It is not describing the nuts. That makes a difference. If coarsely was describing the nuts, that would make this an adjective. Coarsely is describing ground, which is an adjective, right? So what describes adjectives? Adverbs. Good. So coarsely is an adverb. Hi. What are you doing in here? Okay. You didn't just come for an extra dose of grammar? Oh, sad. I'm recording this. That was Hope that just said that. She's not nice. I am recording. Okay. The early bird gets the worm. Early is describing bird. Bird is a noun. Early is therefore adjective. Okay, go through the rest of this. There was a question on number 9. Let's see if you guys can get 9 and 10. But do these with people next to you or by yourself really quickly, and then we'll see if you have questions. 9 and 10 tripped up some people. Okay, questions about any of these? Number 9, did we get number 9? What did we say? Oof, let's go over number 9. Oh yeah, you're right. Why do you say number 9 is an adverb though? What is it describing? Okay, it's not describing, well, it is kind of how they trimmed it, but this is actually the more confusing part. What is trimmed in that sentence? It is an adjective. It looks like a verb because it has the ed ending, and so people were really confused with the word trimmed. Trimmed is describing the hedge. Nicely is describing the adjective trimmed, so you're right, it's an adverb. But I just wanted to make sure we understood trimmed. Okay. Is the verb, yes. That's the only verb. Very good. 10, did you guys get 10? His kingly bearing. That's hard because people don't know what bearing is. Bearing is a noun though. So kingly is describing that. Makes it a what? Adjective. Okay, the verb in that sentence is makes. Okay, any other questions? All right, this is what I'm gonna have you do, and you probably won't finish this today, and that's okay. We're not gonna do this second one. We're just gonna do this page. And so I've already done the hard part for you. I've given you the arrow to the word. Okay, so it says on the line next to the sentence, you need to write what part of speech the word that the adverb modifies is. Okay, so there were a lot of people second period who got to like number 7 and they were like, these are all adverbs. It's not the underlined word. All of the underlined words are adverbs. They've already told you the adverbs. Okay, so they were like, all of these are adverbs. That's not what you're looking for. We know they're adverbs. So it says the word that the adverb describes, and I gave you the arrow to that word. Is that a verb, adjective, or adverb? That's what this wants to know. So if you look at this first one, Patricia slept peacefully. Peacefully is the adverb. It's describing slept. What part of speech is slept? Verb. So on the line, you write the letter B. Okay. Our teachers are very happy with the results. Very is your adverb. It's underlined. I put the arrow to happy. What part of speech is happy? Adjective, right? Because adjective describes teachers. So on the line, you put S. Larry's unusually good cooking skills came in handy. Unusually is your adverb describing good. What part of speech is good? Adjective. So on that line, you put H. Okay, so go through each of these and try to figure out what part of speech the word it describes is and put those on the line. And then there's a little riddle to figure out down here. You probably won't get to that part today. If you don't get to it today, then we'll finish it tomorrow in class. Okay, if you have questions, let me know. Work together if you want to. Yeah. Hold on, let me stop this recording.